Coming in, you guys, it's day number 101 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. You guys know, if you've been here all year long, you've been following my work at Living Low Carb Man. If you're watching this on the replay outside of Instagram, go follow me over there. I have been getting into a 32-degree temperature ice bath every single day. This right here, this contraption is the Morozko Forge. Every time I show this on camera, people are like, where'd you get all that big chunks of ice? And so the Morozko Forge makes its own ice. Very convenient. It also filtrates the water, so that's cool as well. Today, the water temperature 32.5 degrees Fahrenheit. For my international friends, that's just a tick above zero. So, pretty amazing. As my neighbor makes a weird noise. Suddenly when I hear from your neighbor, you kind of look over. Make sure she's okay. I think she's okay. Lots of weird noises. Anyway, I get easily distracted. Look, a squirrel. So yes, those of you coming in, it is day number 101. If you missed yesterday, I had a really cool day 100, and it was nice to talk to you guys. But today, I am back. We're starting the next 100 days here on day 101. And I'm going to get into the 5-minute ice bath. But as I always do, I have a topic that I'm going to talk about when I'm in there. And plus, we'll have the walk and talk when I'm done. When I'm done here, we're going to go out on my road, and I'll be walking around my neighborhood. And so get your questions ready. But the topic came from a comment I got on Instagram that ended up being a back and forth. And it was with this gentleman who claimed that getting into an ice bath is way too inflammatory. Why would you do that? All you really need to do is dip your hands and your feet. Anybody that would get in 55-degree water, and anybody that would get in any colder than 55 degrees or anything more than just their hands and feet are just sadists that like pain. I have lots to say about this guy. So he was very nice. We had a very congenial, very rare for social media to have a very congenial conversation with someone, but we did. We'll talk about what all he said. But 5 minutes are on the clock. Let's put my body in all this ice. There is plenty of ice in my Morozko Forge today, so let's get this show on the road. Here we go. Okay, you guys, let's talk about this subject that was brought up by the guy that commented. He commented, by the way, on the post that I put up of one of my wonderful fans. I think she's on here now. Sharon sent me a video of her getting into her backyard swimming pool. And she stepped in. She said, 77, baby! Then dipped her body down, and a few seconds later said, all right, time to get out. So, but I was very proud of you, Sharon. If you're watching this, I know you're watching this either on the replay or live. But that was so inspiring. It was so great. I've had a lot of views on that reel that I made. And so this guy comes on, and he's a nice guy. I don't want to vilify anybody that just offers criticism. Criticism I'm okay with if it's having a debate of ideas. It's when it gets personal that it gets bad. He knows never personal to me. He said, look, all you need to do is 55 degrees Fahrenheit and just your hands and feet. All this ice and all this cold temperatures and long time in there is just unnecessary. You're just a sadist. You're just wanting pain and wanting the thrill and the adventure. I'm like, okay, let's have the conversation. And so as we continued to have the conversation, he said, well, my biggest concern is that this will raise your inflammation levels. So I got to thinking about it a little more. Does an ice bath raise your inflammation? Now, we do know, it's very well known, what I'm doing right now is a stressor on the body. Okay? Just like exercise is a stress on the body. Just like fasting is a stress on the body. And people hear the word stressor and they just kind of go, oh no, trying to avoid stress. No, you're not. Sometimes you're doing what's called targeted stress and hormetic stress. In other words, stress for the sake of making you better and stronger. And so I see an ice bath as that hormetic stressor. Yes, while I'm in here, there are stresses happening that could be considered inflammatory, but the long-term benefits, the long-term effects, actually are very anti-inflammatory. In fact, this is one of the reasons I get into an ice bath is the anti-inflammatory effects. If I've got adipose tissue in my belly, and I do, and I think it's from inflammation, don't you know, I'm trying to do things to lower that inflammation. We'll continue this discussion when I go out on the walk, but I need to go under the water now. Hands and feet my ass. I got to get that head under the water because that head, whew. I would say it's as good as you know what, but I don't. All right, let me put on my jersey and then we'll go outside and we'll continue this conversation. But isn't that great that I had a nice conversation with someone who disagreed? That's very rare on social media these days. I was very grateful for his making his point, but not having to resort to ugliness. So if you haven't seen that back and forth between me and him, go over to that video that features Sharon. And I think you'll like what happened there. All right, a little cloudy today, but I don't mind cloudy. I do love the sun, though. I was able to stand out in the sun earlier and posted a nice video of getting sunshine, grounding my feet, standing naked in my backyard, breathing deeply. It's really nice. Good modalities. But yeah, I mean, the whole concept that his concern about very cold ice baths is that it's going to be pro-inflammatory. I don't think that matches up with what's been seen in the research. And you guys know I'm pouring my time into looking up this research right now in preparation for my book I'm writing on this topic. And so I haven't seen anything long-term effects is what I'm talking about. I haven't seen anything over the long term that shows doing regular cold therapy makes your body more inflamed. Now, here was a funny thing that he did say that I actually called him out about it. He said, look at Wim Hof. So those of you that don't know, Wim Hof is like the king of cold therapy. I think he holds world records at keeping his body into an ice bath just under 2 hours, I think it was. It was an obsessively long time. I was like, as good as I am at it, 2 hours ain't happening. So, but he said, look at Wim Hof. When he doesn't wear a shirt, he looks very old and he's balding. I was like, dude, really? Really? I said, when I look at Wim Hof, and if you haven't seen him, go on YouTube, type in W-I-M, his last name H-O-F. Very easy to spell. And you'll see his videos. He is one of the happiest, most joyful, most energetic people I've ever seen. And to me, that's signs of health. That's signs of a very vibrant person. That's somebody that, I don't care how you cut it, he is anti-aging. If he was frail and could barely walk around and all the things, I would agree with this person. He is the opposite of that. Now, my pushback on that was, well, Wim Hof does do cold, but what does he do for his diet? What does he do in other lifestyle things? How old is he? He's an older guy, and so he's not going to be able to have the fresh skin that I guess a 30-year-old would be. So I kind of called him out. I'm like, dude, that's kind of unfair to Wim Hof. I guarantee you, people his age don't have his energy, don't have his vibrance. They don't. So I said, but you know what? The same thing's been said about me with keto. People say, because I don't look the part, that, well, look, that's what keto does to you. Look at Jimmy Moore. I get that all the time. And so I don't like this comparison game. Sorry for the wind, guys. It's really windy. I don't like this comparison game where, well, this advocate for this thing doesn't look the part, and so therefore that thing does whatever that person is. Makes you fat, makes you old, whatever. I hate that. It's a horrible game we play in the health world. And it doesn't serve anybody any good. Because there's so many factors involved. Genetics are involved with a lot of these things. And so Wim Hof is a badass in my eyes. And that kind of took me aback. I was like, not fair, dude. But I guess his claim was, well, Wim Hof does all these cold plunges. See, it's aging him. See, that's inflammation. See, that's stress. I disagree. I don't think there's a stronger mental person on the planet than Wim Hof. And that was the other thing I pushed back on. He was talking about longevity and physical health. I said, you're ignoring one of the biggest reasons you do cold therapy. At least Jimmy Moore. One of the biggest reasons I do it is the mental health benefits. The mindset benefits. The mental resilience benefits. All of those things are why I do this. Look, I would love for it to produce fat loss. I would love for it to lower inflammation, and it's supposed to be. I would love for it to do a lot of physical things to me. But the mental things it has done that I can actually quantify, I would not do it just for those things alone. I get all of those things. And that was totally ignored by the just put your hands and feet in 55-degree water guy. And again, nice guy. Appreciated his friendliness in the debate, but totally missed the boat on why you do cold therapy. All right, let's scroll back to the top. Let's see who else here today. Very, very windy day here in South Carolina. Smilerista's here. Troy, Texas Livingston, Laura, Woodley, Carnivore Runner, Sharon is here. Mom Era 6, Emily, Patty, Dee Dee Shank, Keto Katio, Nutrient Dense Teas, J Robin, Tiff, Linda, Seister. You're welcome, Sharon. She says, oh, thank you. Yes, your video was such an inspiration to everybody that I had to share it, and everybody has loved it so far. Your nutrition education, Sadie. Sadie says, here's some fire emojis to warm you up. So, yes, I keep trying to make that a thing, you guys. When I'm in the ice, either press hearts or do fire emojis. That would be cool. Emily says, yow, love that part. I want to be your neighbor. Yeah. First time I did the big scream, I think I freaked them out a little bit. They thought something was wrong because they started yelling over the fence and said, well, hey, young lady, how are you? So, first time I did that, I think I freaked them out. They were like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm cool, thanks. I'm naughty. Hey, it might be better then. I don't know. Depends on how good yours is. I don't know. Fasting Queen is here. Taboo, Clyde, Delan, Rosa. Yeah, Dee Dee Shank's talking about Wim Hof. Maybe he's old. He is older. I don't know how old, but I think he's in his 70s. So I hope to be half that energetic when I'm in my 70s. And yeah, he's a badass in my eyes. Haley's here, Kira's here, Balo is here, Holly, Wendy, Miss Chantal, me within, without, Heal Nurse Grow, Bulletproof, Elavicia, Bulletproof says, go Jimmy 101. Yes, day 101. Rockin' and rollin'. JEC is here. Holly says, has it helped any back pain? That's a great question. So, subjectively, pain has gotten better. I don't know how you quantify that. But, I mean, I still have back pain. I still go see a chiropractor. I've got a little pinched nerve on my right-hand side, lower back. So, it's not going to cure that. But does it relieve it while it's numb? You bet it does. And I'm sure it lowers some of the inflammation because it's not as intense as it was. So that's good. Sherry's here, Sister's here, and says, heart, heart, heart. Vicky is here. Melt That Snow's laughing at me. Emily. BDNF guys waving. Harleen is here. Frisk is here. Angel Whispers is here. So guys, if you have any questions, I would love to chat with you here in the next few minutes. Long time no see, neighbor.
I've called you a few times.
You called me? Oh, I changed my number. So if you called me, it's an old number.
Do you have my number?
I'm on live, by the way, with Instagram. So
hi, Instagram.
that's my neighbor, Vicky. 20 plus years we've been neighbors now. How about that? 22 years, actually.
Do you have my number?
I'll get it later. I'm not sure, but we'll find it. But I'm right across the street from you. Hi, Poochie. Wanna say hi?
She's scared of
No. Aw. I'm not a dog guy. What's that?
She thought you saw another dog.
Oh, that's true. Good to see ya. Oh, you need me to lock it? Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. What are we doing?
Just locking it.
Oh, I don't see it turning. I think it's supposed to turn one way or the other, and it's not turning in there, Vicky.
Oh, well, it's fine to open it, so I'll put it.
Oh, there we go. The key is all the way in now, but it's still not moving because that little thing is supposed to move to the side,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. It's not moving. Hang tight, guys. I'll be right back with you guys.
I'll get used to that.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I can't
thank
figure that
you so
out. That's so weird. Have a good day. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry, my neighbor needed me. So. One neighbor's mowing his grass. The other one's in a wheelchair trying to get her mail. See, I'm a friendly neighbor. We all are. All right, where was I? Yes, you guys. Ice bath. If you have questions about cold therapy, please leave them below. Frisk is here from Norway. BDNF guy says, month to month, how much weight is dropping? Hell if I know. Hell if I know. I stopped weighing myself, and I did a whole post all about this today. I did a reel, and it was from my walk and talk on Sunday, where I read from the article about Valerie Bertinelli not weighing herself, and so I did a lot of thoughts on that particular topic, and so I showed a reel today that basically said, stop weighing yourself. So I'm not weighing myself is the answer to your question. So I have no idea how much weight. I don't really care, to be honest. Obviously, if you do healthy habits, you should be able to lose weight. I don't understand this obsession about quantifying it. And again, go read my post. I did a big caption on that video talking all about this. But I don't know. And I'm okay with that. And Emily, right on cue, says Jimmy's a badass. He doesn't weigh. Look, I get a lot of criticism for that, Emily. I'm glad you think I'm a badass for it, but I get all these comments that say, look, Jimmy doesn't weigh because he's given up on his weight loss. I'm like, how you figure? Like, I don't need a gravity detecting device to tell me how I'm doing in my health journey. I just don't. And I feel like we put so much stock in that to the exclusion of everything else. You know how I quantify health? Energy, mood, mental stability, intelligence. All of those things are very important. Yes, there's other things like inflammatory markers and insulin and blood sugar and all those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, where is weight in that discussion? Way down the list. Weight is not the problem. Weight is the side effect of those problems I just mentioned. And so if insulin's out of whack, inflammation's out of whack, blood sugar's out of whack, and your body is not responding well with, you're fatigued a lot, you got brain fog, you're always anxious and depressed, those are the signs that you need to fix, not the weight. Now, is the weight ancillary to that? You bet it is. Of course it is. But I don't need to step on a scale to know why or what my weight is. It's obvious to every person who's bigger that they got weight on their body. And I wear clothes all the time. I can tell if clothes are getting tighter or looser. Yep, sure can. Miss Beth is here. BDNF guy says, I'm that same vibe actually. So more curiosity, never gave a fuck about each one of the 110 pounds lost. Well, that's great. And look, I played this game for a long time. 50 years old now. And I would say 47 of those years, I obsessed about my weight. I guess I didn't obsess when I was a baby. I was a big baby. I was almost 11 pounds when I was born. Mama said I couldn't wait to get you out of me. I was actually supposed to be born in late November, and they didn't induce pregnancy in the early 70s. So she actually had me almost a month later. So I was a 10-month pregnancy. And by the time I came out, Mama said she'd never seen a baby do this. I literally just got out of her and was born. And within seconds, lifted up my head. She said, my brother Kevin didn't lift his head for like 3 months. Jimmy comes out, hey! So she knew I was destined for something in this world because I was curious right away as a baby. Yes. Avocados is here. Yes, cute doggy. Dogs are very needy. Yes, that one's yappy. Very yappy. Frisk is my company name, but my name is Tommy. See, I can only go by what I see on the screen. So if I call you Frisk, it means I'm calling you by your username. I realize your name's not Frisk. I'll try to remember Tommy, but forgive me if I don't. They need to make it easier for people that do lives, because when I do call out names of usernames on here, it'd be cool if they had like a little parenthetical next to your username that had your real name. Even just first name would be cool. That way I'm not sitting here trying to go, what does that mean? So they're not asking my opinion. That's just my suggestion, Instagram. Yes, I've been in this house a very long time, Emily, since 2000 actually. And it did not look like that when I bought it. That's many years of extensions, and yeah, that house was a mess when I bought it. Now it's pretty perfect. I love my house. Okay, Patty looked it up. Wim Hof will be 63 in about a week and a half, so cool. Sister says, can cold therapy help with chronic foot pain? Look, I think it helps with all kinds of pain. I don't think it would hurt. I always go to that. If somebody says, will it help with blank? Well, will it hurt with blank? I can't imagine why cold therapy would hurt foot pain. And so I'd say give it a try. And on top of being cold, so if you're going to get like a little foot bath, have ice in the water, why don't you throw some Epsom salts in there as well, so you get the absorption of the magnesium in there. I bet that would be really nice on your foot pain. And then getting regular feet massage, which you probably already do a lot of things like that. But I can't imagine it hurting it, is the point. By the way, that guy that was critical and we had the conversation, he said, well, I just hate that ice baths are pushed, and there's some people it's not great for because they have a negative response. And I said, look, I've talked about some of those things. My friend Kelly, who came to visit me during my birthday party, she came by and she's like, hey, can I get in the Morosco Forge? She got in for 4 minutes, and for the next 3 days she had breakout streaks on her body. She was in a lot of pain. And so she realized, she's a health coach and she knows kind of what was happening. And it was a detoxification types of thing. So does that mean it was a bad thing for her? I don't think so. Maybe what it was revelatory is the word, for she still had some work to do on things that she thought had been healed. So it's not that the ice bath made it worse. It's that it brought it to light. First time I got into the Morosco Forge, I had major blotches all over my belly and on my arm. I had like a vein pop out on my eye. I had never experienced that cold of water before. And so the body needed to kind of adjust. And of course, all that response was a detox of sorts as well. So I got his point. There is such a thing as over-exercising, and there's such a thing as over-ice bathing, I suppose, but it's in the dosage. You can get targeted amounts of this and see benefit. Just like exercise, you could get targeted amounts and get benefit, but you can overdo it. I think people could overdo fasting. If you blow by hunger when it's true hunger, you will suffer the consequences of that. That doesn't mean you shouldn't fast. It just means be aware of when you need to stop. Same with at the gym. If you're lifting weights and you get super duper, sore or something that kind of gives you a clue, you got to stop. And the same with ice baths. You guys have seen me push the limits, but never beyond what I think I'm capable of. That day that I did 10 minutes in the ice bath, I did it because I was able to do it. If at any moment I was not comfortable. If at any moment I felt like I was going beyond it being a great hormetic stressor and into an inflammatory stressor, I would have stopped. And finding that level, I'm going to try to help people figure that out in the book when I write this, that you got to find what that right dosage is. Look, Sharon, when she got in there yesterday into her backyard swimming pool, she got in there, she dipped all the way down to her shoulders, which I think was beautiful, Sharon. I thought that was great that you were able to conscientiously get down low enough. Now, she's got beautiful hair, so she's like, I don't want to get my hair wet. So she didn't dip her head under the water, but she did everything else. And she was in there for about 15 seconds and went, okay, that's enough. And that was the dosage that she knew she could handle. Nothing wrong with that. Play around with the dosage. And I even explained to this guy, look, if I did 55 degrees, I would be bored. That would not challenge me. I need 32 degrees so I feel something. So I feel like I'm actually accomplishing something. Is it hard? You bet it is. 55 degrees would not be hard. I could stay in 55 degrees for hours. Hours. Wouldn't even blink because it wouldn't be cold enough. And it's all about that adaptation. But you guys know I've been very well adapted to cold for a little while. So thank you for that, sister. Emily says, beautiful live about the scale on Sunday at the Walk and Talk. Very powerful. Thank you. Yeah, it's still up, and I'll be posting clips from it all week. I was able to swipe about 5 different clips that I'll be sharing as reels and adding more commentary all week. So if you missed it, you can go watch it. It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram here. But I'll be sharing reels from it. The Jones is here. Stacy is here. Sharon says, I love the confidence that you have. Look, I think when you see success and you see how you do something challenging and you accomplished it, and you know this now, Sharon, you did it yesterday. When you do something you didn't think you were capable of and you did it, that just builds that confidence. You're almost like, bring it on. Whatever it is, bring it on. I cannot quantify, cannot quite describe what that's like to be in the mindset of bring it on. But it's nice. I will tell you that. It's very, very nice to finally get to that point where maybe you've struggled with confidence. Maybe you've struggled with being resolute in making decisions, knowing purpose in this world. There's all kind of applications to this. But if getting in something like an ice bath, which is super hard, and you do it, rewiring in your brain takes place. I will shout this from the mountaintops, and this is going to be a major part of my book. I'm going to talk about, look, you might do it for the physical benefits. Here's a better reason to do it. And talk about all the mental stuff, the resilience, the badassery. It's a thing, guys. It's a real thing. Ben is here. Emily is here. Jan says hello. Hello. Marcus is here. Redeem Carnivore. ATI is here. SGL is here. Nikki, Julia, Dave. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining in today. Day 101 of getting into a 32 degree Fahrenheit temperature water ice bath. I always have to throw Fahrenheit in there because if I don't say 32 degrees Fahrenheit, my international friends say 32 degrees, mate. Like down in Australia, 32 degrees is hot, mate. They're not kidding. That's like 90 something degrees. So not 90 something. It's not a hot tub. It's an ice bath. And I'll show you, those of you that came in late and you haven't seen it before. That is what I put my body into. And it's got real big chunky monkey pieces of ice. And I love it. Making myself cold on a daily basis every single day in 2022, I think was the best decision I've made for my health since I went keto. I do. I think this is a piece to the puzzle for Jimmy Moore. Not necessarily for the weight loss. Obviously, I do hope that is part of this. But it's a piece to the puzzle of calming my mind, of not aging mentally. Like this guy that was critical today in the comment, he was talking about, oh, you're making aging speed up. And I guess he was talking about physical aging. But if anything, I have seen aging mentally and psychologically and emotionally slow down. And I'm in a so much better place today just by making my body cold. Like, who knew, guys? And the funny part, just like keto, when I was researching keto and testing it and then wrote a book about it, keto was not new when I wrote Keto Clarity. It wasn't. It had been out there for a little while in the scientific literature, a little while in just different nerdy people talking about it, but never really focusing on ketogenic diets and trying to translate it for the lay people. I feel like cold therapy is in the same place now here in 2022 as keto was in 2012 when I was doing it. And I think it's going to be something that will catch on, that people will want to know more about, which is why I'm showing you guys a real person trying to translate science in real time, talk about some of the practical things, and address some of the concerns. And then I'm going to put this stuff in the book form so people that are truly interested and want to try it will have a resource. So hang with me. We're going to start on that book, Cold Therapy Clarity. We're going to start writing on it in earnest in May after I take off from all of my podcasts. And I get back from the Paleo FX conference. I'll be hitting that hot and heavy, you guys. So real excited to get it out there. Real excited to get started on that. Real excited to continue this journey. 365 days in a row of doing cold therapy. It's worth it. It's worth it. This is such a normal part of my life now. I could not imagine not doing it. All right, guys, if you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, on Facebook, or even here on Instagram, go follow me over on Instagram at Living Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. And I would love to have you join me. 5 p.m. Eastern time is when we go live on these videos. Would love to interact with you. I've seen these videos grow the longer that I've gone. I think people are like, whoa, he's still doing it. So yes, I am still doing it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to have a little bit of challenge when I travel here coming up in a few weeks, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Worst case scenario is I'll have to get into a shower and turn the cold water on. It won't be much for me, but I will definitely use it to the best that I can. Sadie says, thank you. I love your books, podcasts, and lives. Have a great evening. Thank you, Sadie. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, I don't have any live videos for you guys. I do record the next episode of the One Step Deeper podcast with my friend and co-host, Brittany. So that's at 10 a.m., but we don't do those on the air anywhere. We do those on Skype. But I will be back here at 5 p.m. Eastern for day 102. So until then, we'll see you then. Bye, guys.